My name's Anita. I have interstitial cystitis, and I started working with Callie about mid-August of 2021. Before I met Callie, I was pretty miserable. I was in constant pain. I had gotten really depressed because my urologist and I had pretty much exhausted all the means that we had at the time to help with the symptoms that I was having. I've had interstitial cystitis for 6 years, and during that time, as the pain would make me go to the bathroom more and more often, my bladder has shrunk. It has gotten to where whenever my urologist would do a hydrodistension to try to stretch it to give me back some of the capacity that a normal person would have, it got to where it just didn't work with me. Even under sedation, my blood pressure would shoot way up, and they would have to stop because they knew they were causing me pain. The few times that I did get out of the house, I was constantly having to pull over to the side of the road to go to the bathroom. I had gotten to where I would carry jars or pads with me so that I would be able to empty my bladder wherever I could. I could not make it even from my house to the grocery store 2 miles down the road without having to stop about 3 times in order to empty my bladder to relieve my pain. I had many days where my pain was so bad I could not sit down. I could not bend over. I could not squat down to pick things up. I have bought tools and placed them everywhere in my house so that on the days that I was hurting so bad I could not bend over, that I was able to pick up things that had been dropped in the floor using my little grabber tool. There's many days that I would just walk around my house and do things all day long. If I wanted to watch a TV show or a movie, I would have to do it from a standing position because I could not sit. Car riding became almost impossible. Driving and doing errands, I had to hold my body in such a way to alleviate my pain that it was causing problems with other parts of my body. It would make my back really sore. I began watching videos of people doing long distance hiking because I was very interested in camping, and I've always been a very avid camper. So when I would, Google camping, part of the same things that came up was hiking. And on the days when I could not do anything other than just walk around, I kept thinking to myself, because I felt so defeated, that I can't do anything else with my life. At least I can do is walk. And I began to get interested in hiking. Only problem with that was I had to pee every 15 to 20 minutes. So that was also a problem. Once I started working with Callie, she was able to help me with the Elimination Diet to where I was able to determine what a lot of my triggers are. I have more than just food triggers, but now that I know things I can eat that do not cause me pain, then when I have other sensations of pain, I can figure out why. One of my biggest problems was some of the medication that my doctor was giving me to help alleviate my symptoms also caused me additional problems, and I would have to stop it. So I was actually beginning to get very depressed and feeling totally lost before I found Callie. I would recommend her to anybody. My future is looking much brighter. I have days where it's almost like I don't even think about my bladder. I haven't been able to do that in 6 years. I can get in my car and go run errands and actually get to the place of business that I'm going to before I have to find a restroom. And sometimes I'm actually able to go take care of my errands and come back home before I have to go to the restroom. So for me, she gave me my life back. Do I still have symptoms? Yes, I do. But now I think I can figure out what a lot of my triggers are. Before I could not. I've recently found out that another medication my doctor was giving me was causing me problems. And without knowing the dietary advice that Callie had given me, I would not have been able to figure that out. Another reason why I do still have symptoms is because I am trying foods that people probably would not normally eat. I am going to start a long distance hike of the Appalachian Trail in April. And so you can't carry most foods that you would normally have at home. So I have been trying a lot of dehydrated foods and prepackaged foods, which is something I have not been eating for the past 6 years. And I found out that there's some things I can have. I can drink coffee. I've not been a very big coffee person, but when it's one of the few things you can drink, it's amazing. I have found out that with just a tiny pinch of baking soda, I can drink Kool-Aid. So now that and milk and water, I've got 4 things now that I can drink, which thrills me to no end. When I introduce foods, I have found a few that I cannot have, and I just put those on the back burner. And most of the time, it's stuff I'm not that crazy about anyway. It's just stuff that you commonly find in prepackaged foods or restaurant foods. So in order to try to fit back into the mainstream, I have been trying those things. In addition to Callie's knowledge, because she's also an IC warrior herself, one of the things that I really loved about doing this program is the fact that you have such a large support group. The weekly calls and meetings, you just feel finally like, I'm not alone in this. There are other people dealing with this as well. And instead of you just trying to explain how you're trying to live your life, there's these other people that say, I get it. I've had to deal with that. And sometimes we can talk about what some other solutions might be and give us some other things to try. I very much like the fact that Callie is constantly striving to find us more information about our condition and how other things are linked in to our whole body system to help alleviate some of the things we're dealing with, from the mental to the physical, helping us find ways to exercise, any new treatment plans, any new things that people are able to deal with mentally to help deal with what they're experiencing on a daily basis. The main thing is to remember, it's not always going to be like this. There is a way to feel better. IC is definitely a puzzle, and Callie can help you find some very large pieces to solving that puzzle. I would definitely recommend Callie. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Would I have done it sooner? Absolutely. I just didn't know about her then. So I feel like I have gone through 5 years of total torture until I have found a solution to being able to live day by day. So I'm very thankful, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to answer any of them. I am still working on my food lists that I can put together for my long distance hike. And now, instead of doing the hike just because walking is about the only thing I feel like I could do, I'm actually looking forward to the physical activity and the new experiences, and I'm really looking forward to not constantly focusing on my pain and actually be able to focus on what is going on around me.